This presentation and the accompanying oral commentary may include forward-looking statements that are subject to risks, uncertainties, and other factors beyond our control. Our actual results, performance, or achievements may differ materially and adversely from those anticipated or implied by such statements because of various risk factors, including those detailed in our annual report on Form 10-K for the fiscal year ended July 31, 2019, filed with the US Securities and Exchange Commission on September 24, 2019. Any future product or roadmap information presented is intended to outline general product direction, is not a commitment to deliver any functionality, and should not be used when making any purchasing decision.
I was looking on Google, just a keyword, no SAM. And the first ad that came up was Nutanix. We actually went to San Jose and made a bit of the roadmap. That's when we decided to buy Nutanix. It was a fantastic moment.
As a company, for us, it's important to have innovative products. We entered the Dutch market together with Nutanix. It gave us an edge over our competition, and it immediately increases our reputation with the customer.
I realized that this was something magical because this was way faster than my production environment. I went to the board and I said, okay, we're going to use $1 million on this. Okay, you really must believe in this. And Nutanix has delivered on all the promises, and they keep delivering on the promises.
Nutanix support has always been great. It's one of the best supports in the IT business. It's a flawless support in my opinion.
I feel that we've got a very trusted partner. The account management team understand our business to the extent that they will pick up the phone and go, we're thinking about this potential solution, can we discuss? No other vendor in my lifetime has taken that type of an interest.
It evolves the conversation we have with our customers and the value we have with them, because it's really about transforming their business.
Thank you to Nutanix, because Nutanix is a big part of best year ever, and best year ever for 30% more than last year.
When start to talk about Nutanix, customers are really, oh, amazing. We can see the customer eyes with stars in it.
We basically were able to free up resources because the people had to spend less time upgrading the platform, doing all the same tasks over and over again. We can explore more products, innovate more.
As one of my guys would say, I'm in my happy place now.
I feel passionate about Nutanix. It's been solving our problems since 2012, and I'm confident that we'll do it for the next 10 years as well.
Nutanix is a very important part of my business, so I cannot imagine my business without Nutanix. I can't.
Please welcome Nutanix VP Northeastern Europe and Russia CIS Sales, Patrick van der Werken.
Good afternoon, a very warm welcome back for this final keynote of Day 1 .NEXT Copenhagen. Very thrilled to be here, of course. What a great video we have seen about the customer and partner journey. of the last 10 years, the time that Nutanix was basically started, of course. .next is extremely important to us, of course, and we have discussed this morning a lot of things, some great presentations seen by both Dhiras and by Rajiv, and also Julie, you were great, of course, on stage performing. And we have also talked about the community, being part of the family, because customers and partners, that's why we're here. And it's actually my first question, because we have had now 4 .next. We have seen Nice, Vienna, London and Copenhagen, of course, today. But there are actually people in the room that are here for the first time at the .next. Can you please stand up? So people that are here for the first time this year. That's amazing. And you are now officially part of the Nutanix family and community. So congrats on that. So as I told, we have seen some great stories around Dhiras this morning, covering the story of resilience. And for me, one thing stands really out. That was Julie O'Brien. We have actually a new Nutanix platform professional here in the room. So again, a big round of applause for Julie. And actually, Julie, it is 1 year ago, and you made me smile instantly on that moment, because you presented, during .next London, Copenhagen to be the city today. And I am, of course, thrilled to be here, because actually, Copenhagen is part of the region that I'm covering, being Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, and Russia. So how proud can a man like me be? I am here now with the company, 7 years, and together with a great team, which is supporting me daily. We are building a great region in order to contribute to EMEA and in order to serve our customers and partners. So today, really, Copenhagen is the capital of my region. So in the upcoming sessions, we will invite a couple of real nice guests on stage as well, and they will talk about innovation, design, and creativity. And let me start with innovation. I'm going to welcome later on stage, or he will be on stage, a CIO, which is very dear to my heart, also a very long-time customer from us in the region in Belgium, actually. And he truly deserves the title CIO. The I for this is innovation. And he will talk a little bit more about that later when he is on stage. And then the second guest that I would like to introduce is Peter Kreiner. And he will talk about also about creativity and about design. Peter Kreiner is actually the CIO of one of the most well-known restaurants here in Copenhagen, actually in Denmark, and even globally. For 3 consecutive years, that restaurant was awarded as the best restaurant on the globe. So I think from a creativity perspective, a good story to embrace as well during the session that we are about to start. And by the way, the CIO is going to have some awesome guests as well, because he is doing an interview with them, and you will see much more from them tonight as well. So with that, and the people that I've just mentioned are all award-winning people, and with that I'm really proud that we are going to start this final keynote with some customer awards that is going to be announced by 2 of my dear colleagues, which is Mark Wheeler and Inder Sidhu.
Good evening. Good evening and welcome everyone to the .next Customer Awards.
What an amazing evening. How's everybody feeling? Awesome. You're having a great conference. How are you, Mark? How's it going?
I'm doing great. It's been a really good day.
It's been exciting. So many customers, so many partners.
It's a packed room again.
Employees, it's a packed room. We're enjoying ourselves, and I hope you all are as well. It's going to be a great evening.
But can you imagine it's October already?
Yes.
It feels like the summer quite literally flew by. And it won't be long until winter is coming. Of course, that is my unsubtle reference to tomorrow afternoon's keynote speaker. I promise you, you won't want to miss it.
Excellent. So Nice little segue there. I noticed that, Mark, your sense of humor is improving. That's terrific. Now, all right, enough of the jokes. Let's get on to recognizing our customers. We want to make sure that we recognize you for all the achievements, the glory, the hard work that you've put into making cloud very, very successful. So let's get on with the show.
Right. Well, it's been a very challenging process this year for our judges. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. There were so many great stories to consider, but our judges had to come to some tough decisions on who's taking home the award in each category. You'll see our judges behind me. Thanks to transformative leader, IT leader Bjorn van Riet, distinguished analyst Tony Locke, senior director of systems engineering Sylvain Sidhu, and Nutanix's own CIO, Wendy Pfeiffer, for selecting our winners this evening.
Excellent. So what we're going to do this evening is we have 4 awards that we're going to be handing out, 4 categories, 3 nominees in each category. And here are the 4 categories. Number 1, the Cloud Trailblazer Award. Number 2, the Cloud Transformers Award. Number 3, the DevOps Rockstar Award. And number 4, consistent with our culture, the .Heart Giving Back Award. Now, if you are a winner, we'll announce the nominees, then we'll pick one winner, and we'll announce the name of the winner. Please come on up to the stage, and we'll take a nice picture with you, and then we'll move you on back to and go on to the next award.
OK, so let's get started then. Our first category is the Cloud Trailblazer Award. This award recognizes a senior executive who has blazed a new trail, demonstrating innovation in his or her cloud strategy. And the finalists are FBD Insurance and Inder, JM Finn and John Curson, and Kanika Saeed Al-Habashi.
All right, now the winner, or are you going to?
I think I'm going to pick this one up.
OK.
Hold on. So let's introduce our winner. This leader has, over the past 3 years as Chief Technology Officer, made a significant multi-year investment in upgrading their technology platform, as well as their cybersecurity solutions, leading with a cloud and digital-first approach, as well as supporting strategies that involved creating a data lake with structured and unstructured data in the cloud with AI and analytics tools. The winner of the Cloud Trailblazer Award is Inder from FBD Insurance. Inder, please come on up. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Inder. Please, come on.
Congratulations, Inder. Well done.
Let's come
in the middle. We're going to
stage.
Have a quick photograph here.
Here, move up to the center of the stage. Oh, he would like you to line up.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations, Inder. Excellent. For our second category, which is the Cloud Transformers Award. Now, the finalists in this category is a team that have helped and elevate and evolve their organization in the area of cloud innovation. This uniquely talented set of nominees are being recognized for their innovation, for a successful strategy, and for the return on investment that they've delivered to their organization as a result of their efforts. We have 3 nominees. Those are Cirrus, Jambo Pay, and SMA Solar Technology. Now, for the winner in this category, what this team did is they brought a spirit of innovation when they created a self-service online social payments site. And as a result of the payments that were made onto the site, the funds that were donated to this platform that they created, they were easily distributed to help cover the outstanding costs for hospital bills and also for the school fees for those people who were not able to afford to do so. So ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce the Cloud Transformers Award, and the winner is Jambo Pay. Please come on up.
Great job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Grab up to the center. Come to the middle here. Grab a photo.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations again. All right. Our third award this evening is for the DevOps Rockstar Team Award. The winner of this award is working hard to break down silos between IT infrastructure, IT ops, as well as app development teams. This requires collaboration, insight, agility, and of course, the right technology to accelerate the rollout of business-critical apps.
And we have 3 phenomenal finalists for this award. They are Hamburger Pension Verwaltung.
Say that
I think
again.
I got it right.
Say that again.
I would like to have hamburger. Hamburger Pension Verwaltung. Okay. Millennium and Warba Bank. Now, the winner in this category, this is the DevOps Award category, very, very interesting work. Now, these people had to really go and drive a lot of automation in their operations, because previously they were a bank that was actually having to do infrastructure upgrades, and they were in a monthly release cycle. But infrastructure provisioning, as you know, needs to move much faster than that. And so through their efforts, they were actually able to drive infrastructure provisioning, not on a monthly cycle, but actually on a daily cycle. They're actually doing daily releases. And so this DevOps team has driven infrastructure delivery down very significantly. And in doing so, they can now tackle and focus their efforts on higher order things such as performance management and so on. So phenomenal work, ladies and gentlemen. A great round of applause for our DevOps Rockstar Award, which goes to Warba Bank. Come on up. Congratulations.
Hey, well done. Congratulations. Here you go.
Let's line up a little bit over there.
We can come over to the middle here, guys.
Okay, let's scoot up a little bit.
Well done.
Great. Thank you.
Congratulations again. Great.
Definitely the most enthusiastic winners in our group here.
All right. We're on to our last award now.
Yep.
And our last award is the Special Heart Giving Back Award. This award honors those companies that are making a really positive impact on their communities and the world. At Nutanix, .heart is one of our 4 cultural pillars: hungry, humble, honest, with heart. And we believe strongly in the power of diversity to contribute to innovation in the workplace, as well as giving back to the community. Our 3 finalists who share .heart are Cadence Design Systems, the Ministry of Digital Economy and Entrepreneurship, and Vodafone Group Services. This story was incredibly powerful. This foundation has a global presence. And one initiative that really stood out for us from this company was their Girls and Mobile program. This company partnered with Girl Effect, a non-profit that supports broader usage of mobile tech to empower vulnerable girls around the world. This foundation and Girl Effect completed the first comprehensive study into adolescent girls and the usage of mobile technology. And it was discovered that boys were 1.5 times more likely to own a mobile phone than girls. So to empower 7 million vulnerable girls with access to services that they need, this foundation and Girl Effect have committed a $25 million fund over the next 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the .heart Giving Back Award is Vodafone. Come on up to accept your award.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations again.
Well, congratulations to all our finalists and all the winners. We're always looking to hear your coolest, your most impactful, your most exciting stories. And we'd love to see many more people participate in the awards next time around. And we want to see many new faces come up and engage in some of these exciting stories.
Inder, you obviously are involved in a lot of customer success. What does it take to be our next winner?
To me, I think the most compelling stories are the one where people have deeply engaged, they've used the technology, they've involved their whole team, and they've actually had a positive impact and a positive return on investment in the process. Those are the most compelling and the most exciting stories, and those are the ones that make it to the winners. So that's what I'd like to see.
OK. Well, I think it's probably time now for us to hand over to the panel.
Yeah, so what you're going to see next is a panel discussion about design, and we're going to have 4 very esteemed guests. They are Fran Scott, Peter Kreiner, who was introduced earlier, Tobias Mannewitz, and our very own Satish Ramachandran. So come on up, guests. And Mark, go ahead.
Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Fran Scott. I'm the science content producer at the Royal Institution. And if you don't know it, it's the home of the Christmas lectures. I'm also a science and engineering presenter on television. Now, what brings me here today is I design science demonstrations. So that's visual ways to show scientific ideas. I'm also a pyrotechnician. So these demonstrations tend to involve a little bit of fire. But what brings me to this exact panel is I am what can only be described as an utter fangirl of great design. So from toothbrushes to systems to bridges, I absolutely adore something when it's well designed. And so much so that I was actually drafted in to be the engineering judge on the UK version of Lego Masters. Now, for those of you that don't know, Lego Masters is a wonderful television program where teams come and they create and build these amazing designs out of Lego. So I got to judge all manner of wonderful creations and designs. And talking about wonderful designs brings us onto our panel, who I'm going to introduce you to, but with a little bit of theme of before and after. So we're going to start with Peter Kreiner. Now, Peter Kreiner, as you heard before, is the CEO of the legendary Danish restaurant Noma, and it's based here in Copenhagen. It is closed at the moment, so you can't go tonight. It opened in 2003, and Noma is a 2 Michelin-starred restaurant run by chef René Rzepski. Now, it's known for its reinvention and reinterpretation of Nordic cuisine. As you heard before, in 2010, 2011, 2012, and 2014, it was ranked the best restaurant in the world by the world's best 50 restaurants. Now, as you can see from the pictures behind me, Noma did not start out as this inspiring space that it is today. And the transformation is in no small part down to Peter. Now, what I love about Peter is the ethos that he brings to Noma. And despite Noma's absolutely extraordinary success, the ethos he brings is one of humbleness, a striving for perfection, and a willingness to learn. Next, we have Tobias Mannewitz. Now, Tobias Mannewitz is a multi-award-winning designer, entrepreneur, and design instructor. In 2008, he founded the design studio, which unfortunately I can't pronounce, but you can, can't you, Tobias?
It's Karakter.
Of course it is. So, he founded that in 2008, and he's now the co-owner and senior creative director. Now, he specializes in visual design for the entertainment industry. He's best known for designing the visual effects for none other than the Game of Thrones. Don't worry, I won't make a bad joke there. Now, his company has also designed the main characters for the latest Call of Duty game and has developed the visual world for Sony's new exclusive IP, Horizon Zero Dawn, which just happens to be the most successful Sony IP in recent years. He's quite good at what he does. Now, as a designer, his design goal is to make the fantastical credible. And if you describe his job, as you can see from the pictures behind me, what he does is he starts with a black box where anything is possible, and he creates anything from the look of the main characters, to the castles, to the tanks, to the banners, to the grass, to even something as seemingly simple as faux Roman graffiti, including the choice about whether to include that graffiti or not. And lastly, but by no means least, we have Satish Ramachandran. Now, Satish is the VP and Global Head of Design at Nutanix, where he is dedicated to applying design to reimagine enterprise computing. His decades of experience at computing infrastructure companies have given him a deep understanding of engineering, and that, coupled with long-standing interests in literature, music, cognition, human behavior, including that of his children, and philosophy, has enabled him to bridge, and we all love a good bridge the gap of the twin worlds of design and engineering effectively. Now, as you can see from these before and afters coming up behind me, what Satish does in his current role is he ensures the products built by Nutanix serve the user's intent with minimal, simple, and as he phrases it, delightful interactions. Ladies and gentlemen, the panel. So I'm going to start with question number 1, because that's always a good place to start. And question number 1 is, you guys, you come from such different backgrounds, but you all create special moments for your users. Could you give us some specific examples about how you've done this through design? And that, Peter, can I start with you there, please?
You're very welcome to start with me. Hello, everybody. I think what you could hopefully see on the before and after photos, which were shown just before, we actually moved Noma into what looked like a really, pardon my language, a shithole. It was a really worn down place, old military installation. But via design and architecture, we actually managed to create what we like to call our new home. And we moved into that in February last year. And for us, it is really a place where we have everything coming together in such a nice way to enable us to give our users, we call them guests, the right experience, but also for all our employees, those who spend their time there and every day, that everything hopefully is put together in a way so it feels natural, fun, but also communicates by everything you touch, you see, you feel, quality, innovation, creativity, and also maybe just some clever, thought-out solutions. That's what we have tried to manage there.
Can't wait to go for my free meal. And next,
we're close now.
Tobias, how do you make that happen? How do you make those special moments happen?
Well, hello. Actually, let's try that out. Give me a hand, those of you who have actually watched Game of Thrones, to just stick with that example. Wow, so it's, wow, okay. So like 40%.
Yeah.
And those of you who then at some point during the show were wondering, does this make sense? What does it look like? Can I, it doesn't match with what I understand of how the actual world is supposed to work. Please give me a hand for those of you who have had that experience while watching the show, where you were thrown out of the experience. Nobody. Oh, I actually, yeah, quite a few of them, but not many, apparently, which is great, because it's part of our philosophy to cater to the most knowledgeable members of the audience that we can imagine. And I would assume that there were some people in here who know something about, you know, hobbyists and architecture and why buildings stand up, about history and all of those kinds of things, maybe military technology, this kind of stuff. And when you feel that something's presented that doesn't gel with your knowledge, then you're dropping out. And that's a moment of friction that we don't want to see happen. So it's part of our philosophy to not do that. So we look at the brand, at logic, at iconicness, and at story. And only if we meet all those 4 criteria very well, and logic was just the one that I had just described, then we're doing a great job. And maybe another one for the iconicness, this can be translated down to, can you scribble the castle that you've just seen on a napkin, or can your son build it in Minecraft, for example? And if he can, and other people can realize, oh, that's Dragonstone, isn't it? Then we've created an iconic design that's memorable.
That's really nice. I like the way that what you do is you actually try to make it translatable and what I call playground talk, so it doesn't just end once you've watched the film and the television show.
Exactly. It's important that can be transformed into a completely different context.
Brilliant. And you mentioned it briefly, Tobias, but we've been looking a little bit into what it means to be invisible and to create that frictionless design. And so what I'm really intrigued by is what that looks like on a practical level to you guys. And Satish, right over there, could I start with you on that one, please?
Sure. Hello, everybody. So, frictionless, invisible, they're all on a spectrum, mainly of experience. Friction, of course, is what we hate the most. You try and do something with a lot of effort, or you did something and you're in a complete state of panic because you don't know what the end result is going to be, for example. So that's extremely high friction. Then you get down to frictionless, which is you have an intent that you're trying to accomplish, and you're able to flow through the interface and experience a nice way of flowing through and get your job done, basically, right? So that is frictionless. And then you get to invisible, which is you really don't have to think about it because it's taken care of for you. The best example for that, in my mind, is actually electricity. You don't wake up in the morning and get all excited saying that I have electricity. And how great is that, right? Of course, you miss it when it's not there, right? So electricity is probably a great example of being invisible. You take it for granted. It's not top of mind. It's extremely reliable. It's always available, all that good stuff. On a lighter note, parenting is invisible infrastructure for kids. You have things like the iPhone backing up to the iCloud, which you don't think about, but it's taken care of, and so on. So invisible is basically like having a great butler who takes care of things for you and has your dinner jacket ready on hand as you're ready to step out, that kind of a thing. But the hard part, to answer the second half of your question on what it takes to get there, is that there's an immense amount of thought that has to go in, an immense amount of engineering effort that has to go in to actually earn the trust of the people, because people are actually giving up control that they're used to and trusting the infrastructure. Like you have to give up control to a self-driving car, for example, and have it, continue, right? So that is hard. And so the question then becomes, how do you earn that trust? How do you design to earn that trust, right? Because it's not earned by asking, right?
Completely.
So that's what I would say.
I'd never even thought of the trust part, and that's a really good important. When you're completely giving up control, you need to trust that it will happen without your input. Now, Peter, obviously what you do is very different to Satish. How do you create that frictionless design for your customers?
I mean, for us, obviously, when any of you want to come and dine with us and have the experience, we want to create we want it to feel very, very special. We want you to feel you're in the center, and effectively, when any of you are dining, we want you all to feel like you are the most important guest we have in the room. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we want to do there is also by creating this path you walk down along from. So we'll greet you up around the street level, and it happens to be so that behind me, I believe you can maybe see something, or you saw there was this long path leading up to where Noma is, where the entrance is. We want you to open the door and get in. And that's something, obviously, we work very closely with our architects, Bjarke Engels, and our other designers we used. And we throw in a lot of input ourselves in all of this. Because in our world, we should never forget that it's all about doing something for our guests. And since we have to do that, obviously, it needs to feel that it's just natural, it's easy, but we also like the element of surprise and novelty. And if something feels creative and new, it's also great.
And it's that humbleness coming out, that ethos of Noma. What a wonderful answer. Okay, now, our panelists, they are all absolute successes in their individual fields. But I feel as if people, when they're successful, they don't celebrate themselves enough. So this question is for you to celebrate yourself. And I want you to talk about one creative breakthrough that you are most proud of. And Tobias, you're looking the most scared there, so I am going to come to you first, please.
Okay. Well, I'm currently thinking of the Audi virtual showroom. That's a piece of software that the rest of the world outside of Audi has never ever seen. It's an internal piece of training software handed out to their employees working in customer service, etc., to train customer interaction. And it's basically like a showroom, but only on the iPad. And I was brought in to be the architect of this virtual space for them. And now to give you some context why this was such a proud moment for myself, you have to understand that Audi has a huge staff of brand officers who make sure that the brand integrity stays intact. And what this means is they have designed pretty much everything down to a T. You know, that's a case where the cliche of German engineering perfectionism, it really comes to life. And two other very respectable video game companies had been hired to do this for them before I was brought in, and they couldn't deliver what Audi needed. Now, when I was a kid, I read an article where some Audi manager said, well, in 20 to 30 years' time, we want to be up to par with Mercedes-Benz and BMW. And even as a 10-year-old, I said, yeah, sure, you're never going to get there. But that was 30 years ago. And now take a look at where Audi stands now, and I would say, wow, they have really achieved it. And the only way how they could get there was because they had all this consciousness about building their brand and clawing their way up to the top. And so when I handed in my design after half a year of work, and it was reviewed by upper management and all these brand fanatic people, they reviewed it, and it got accepted with no iterations, except for that one little thing where they said, oh, please change the office plant there in the corner, which was the only survivor from one of the earlier iterations done by one of our predecessors. So that was the moment when I understood, wow, okay, I'm normally designing video games and other things, and now suddenly this, I think I'm an accomplished designer now. Now I can design anything.
See, we knew you could design anything, but now you know.
Now I know, yeah.
What a wonderful answer. And Satish,
sure.
What's the one creative breakthrough that you are most proud of?
So my favorite's got to be the humble little search box that sits at the top left corner of our screen. Very small out there, but it's pretty unbelievable in terms of what it does, because it's not really just pure search as in retrieving information, but it's also a search and act kind of box. You can basically tell it something, and it does it for you. So in my mind, it epitomizes what it means to be intentful and frictionless, because you really don't have this cognitive load of, well, I want to accomplish this something, and then I have to go through all these menus and fill in a bunch of boxes, check a bunch of things, and then say do it, and then eventually it gets done. Here you can just think it, and you can say it, and we do it. And it has to be very precise, because nothing is more frustrating, as all of you know, than when a search or when an action does not work the way that you expect it to. So you have to be precise, you have to be extremely reliable. But to me, that little thing exemplifies the minimalism, the frictionless, intentful design that we wish to accomplish.
That's brilliant. You can't underestimate the usefulness of a well-designed search box at all. So we are actually doing okay for time. So Peter, I'm going to come to you with that final question in terms of the one creative breakthrough that you're most proud of.
I think that is, in all simplicity, that is to close down the restaurant, Noma, and bring our philosophy to the other side of the planet, and bring all our staff with us and build a new restaurant, which we did in 2015 when we opened in Tokyo. And we brought everybody from me, myself, my family, Benny Redzepi, everybody else, dishwasher. Did that the year after in Sydney. And then we did it again in Mexico in 2017, bringing us up to our new location, which you've seen the images of. So that thing of closing what is a success on a temporary basis even, and moving it, that's what I'll call it.
Because you realised it just wasn't the one-off. You can repeat it, repeat it, and it's still a success. Okay, we are just about drawing to a close, but I want to know more about how you guys think. So, in terms of great design, how would you sum up what great design means to you in one sentence? And I'm going to start with you, Satish.
All right. So, in my mind, great design is immense, and I can't, state it more. Immense thoughtfulness that comes together in a creative, elegant, and minimal way to serve the user. So it's immense thoughtfulness in its pure form that comes, beautifully to serve the user.
To serve the user, I think, is a very important point there.
Yeah.
And Tobias, in one sentence, great design to you.
I would say that when you have a multifaceted problem and you manage to answer that with one very appropriate, rounded answer, that's great design.
And a great answer. And finally, but by no means least, Peter, great design in one sentence.
Jedi superpower.
A Jedi superpower. I like that. I set you a task of one sentence, and you basically come back with 2 words. You make the question even harder. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the end of the panel. But please join me in thanking Peter, Tobias, and Satish.